Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chris's Comics Corner, episode 3. I am Chris. Yeah, I'm Chris. Thanks for tuning in. So, this week, we are going to talk about the state of the DC Extended Universe. So, this is posting a week after Justice League has come out. I have just seen Justice League, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. Not a great movie, but there's a lot of good things to enjoy there. Sets up a lot of heroes to have their own solo movies and go on to do good things. You'll hear a lot more when we come back from break to do the podcast, but that's my quick little review of that. So to jump right into it, let's talk about where DC stands now, what the future holds for DC, and all that fun stuff. So let's start with everything we've gotten to so far. So DC has fast-tracked everything to kind of catch up to what Marvel is doing. So we have the beginning of the universe being Man of Steel, and then our sequel being Batman v Superman, and we've gotten Suicide Squad, and we've gotten Wonder Woman, and now we have Justice League. So, up until this point, we'll actually rewind a little bit there. Up until Wonder Woman, there was a lot to worry about as far as it came to the DC Extended Universe. Man of Steel was kind of okay, but not great. Batman v Superman was very controversial. Personally, I did not enjoy it. Suicide Squad, I think, was universally disliked. Obviously, there's exceptions to all this. So if you did enjoy these movies, good for you. I'm glad you did. I'm speaking more in a broad term, and mostly for myself here. And then Wonder Woman came out, and Wonder Woman got both critical and commercial success. Everyone seemed to love it. Seemed like they figured out what to do there, and they got that hero correct. Now we have Justice League. Justice League, although at the time of this recording, not tracking too well in terms of sales numbers, but what's most important to us was the quality of it. Now, Justice League came out to very bad reviews, but most of the fans I talked to and people that I know in my personal life seem to enjoy it for what it is. Pretty much everyone I've talked to has agreed that it's a good, not great movie, and there's a lot there to be happy about and look forward to, but they didn't get the Avengers wow that they wanted out of it. So that's kind of where we were. Now, where does this put us? So Batman, Superman were already well established. Wonder Woman, well established. So we've got The Flash, Barry Allen, Cyborg, Victor Stone, and Aquaman, Arthur Curry. And those are our 3 new characters. And we got kind of I really liked how they treated these characters too, because we got backstories, but not in the sense where there was any origin there. So we know who they are, where they are, and what their motivation is. And very quickly jump into how they flow and how they work, and I can tell what their movies will be moving forward. The only one that is concerning to me is The Flash, because The Flash is very much a rookie in this, and it seems like they want to jump straight into Flashpoint, which, I don't know, it's been DC's motto, let's rush to the finish, but I wish they would give him more time, because he was kind of he was a fun character, but he's fumbling all over himself, and just, you could tell, he outward says it at one point, like, I don't fight, I've only kind of pushed people out of the way, and so he's not used to doing battle. It doesn't really seem like he has an arch nemesis. He hasn't met the Reverse Flash or the Rogues or anything like that. At least that's kind of what we get from his character. So his movie, personally, I'm a little worried about. Elements of it I really like. The idea of Jeffrey Dean Morgan coming back and being Batman for that universe, and some of the other things that happen in Flashpoint. Cool concepts. I hope to see them done well on the screen. But Barry Allen, as he stands right now in the DC universe, that kind of worries me a bit. So next we got Victor Stone. Victor Stone, once again, rookie. He was just created as this movie was made. And I like the way they treated him because he was just made, he was new, but because of his programming and they had a connection to the mother boxes and all that, he learned very quickly how to do everything and was connected to all this information in the world. So he knew everything, was just kind of processing it. So putting him in a solo movie, his character was a little bland. He was more there to do his job later on than he was a great character on his own. So I will be interested to see how they do a solo movie with him. His, once again, kind of worries me, but this is with the caveat that any character with a great writer and a great director done well can be amazing. But once again, we're speaking in generalities here. And then, Aquaman. It's very well known in our community how much I love the character of Aquaman. I thought he was very good in this movie. He had some questions that need to be answered, like his relationship with Mara, what that is. It seemed, they said at one point that he had, it was his first trip to Atlantis, so what's his relationship with Atlantis and the Atlanteans? And, where does he stand as a person? I got his character came across very well, and his emotions came across very well, and what he wanted to do, but who he was and like where he came from was muddled through this movie. But Jason Momoa killed it as a character, and he's got so much personality. And with how he kind of came on the scene and what the plans are for his movie, I'm not as worried about his, because if you want to do Black Manta, that's easy. You can do Black Manta's origin story, and that's just fine. So I think he has a great future and could have some cool movies moving forward. So overall, I would say... and this is also taking out the fact that it looks like Affleck wants out. I know we hear the story all the time, but I feel like more and more we're getting closer to that realization that Affleck isn't going to be Batman for much longer. So with that, I'll move to the characters we already know. The Batman, extremely worried about that. The Batman, because Affleck is kind of trying to find his way out, and the feelings that I don't know where he is or what he's going to do moving forward, there's a lot of questions there. Who plays Batman? What's the Batman like? And this is all begging with the question, what happens with Flashpoint? So if they do Flashpoint, does this change the universe, as it probably should? So that one worries me, although great director behind it. And it's hard to mess up a Batman movie. So we'll see with that. Man of Steel 2. Now, I personally didn't hate Man of Steel. I thought it was a good movie with kind of a cruddy end. Man of Steel can be good. Henry Cavill does a fine job as Superman. It's so much CG and just so much action that his parts are few and far between. And, there's so much you can grab from, because we've only ever really seen, in terms of the broad movie-going universe, and that goes back to the Christopher Reeve movies back in the 70s. We just seen, like, Luther. And, obviously, General Zod. And those are really the only two characters we ever see. So, there's so many I would like to see moving forward. Like, do we do Brainiac? Do we do Metallo? Do we do? I mean, there's so many great Superman villains that we can do, and I just hope they don't go back to the well of Lex Luthor. So that's kind of up in the air. I mean, you never know with that. And then Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's the one where I have absolutely no fear about it. They signed on the director for another movie. Gal Gadot is in on it. Amidst all the controversy, she has said that she's going to be back because that whole thing is now taken care of. And I mean, there's no reason to worry. The first movie was great. It's the same team behind the second movie, so I think we got something good here, and we'll keep it going. So there's not much else to say there. I mean, there's questions. How will Steve Trevor be back? Will Steve Trevor be back? What villain do you pick for this one? As I'm fumbling over my own words here, but as I said, those are questions, but they're not concerns. If Steve Trevor isn't back, I'm sure it'll still be great. If he is back, I'm sure they will have a fantastic reason for it, and he will be great in it. As to what villain it is, it depends on the villain, but there's so much you can do. Going to the Cold War and dealing with that era, I mean, I think it's going to be great. So, to kind of wrap it up, I think for the most part, enjoyed Justice League. I hope that if you haven't gone out and you're watching this, go out and watch it. Judge for yourself. I think the reviews have been kind of cruddy, personally. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. I think it's actually pretty good. And my co-host agrees on the Fortress Comic News podcast, and most people in my life have said the same thing, that they went there, they enjoyed the movie, and that's both people that love Batman v Superman and people who hated Batman v Superman, so take it for what it is. And so I would say for the most part, I think there's a bright future for the DC Extended Universe. I think there's a lot of good that can come there. I obviously didn't talk about some movies like Suicide Squad 2 and the supposed Batgirl movie and, this and that, Shazam. But as far as the core there, the Justice League, the 6 characters there, I think we have a really bright future for this universe. It's definitely not dead yet. And I really look forward to seeing more of it. So thanks for watching. Remember, you're watching this on YouTube, so there's the subscribe button in one of these corners, and there's a like button, and hit those for me. Let's chat below. What DC Extended Universe movie are you looking forward to? Because I know there's a few that I mentioned there at the end that I didn't talk too much about. Maybe those are the ones that you think are going to be the big to-dos in the future. Let's chat below. Let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.